Hey, you notice, hi, how are you doing? I don't have a mat down because we're going to be rolling around a little bit. I don't want you to feel like you have to stay on your mat. So let's go to the floor, lay on our backs for a moment. Hug knees to chest. And just take some breaths in to your lower back. Inhale, deep breath into your pelvic floor, into the belly. And then exhale, you can make a sound here if you want to. Or just ujjayi breath, or whatever breath is right for you. Take a couple more breaths here. Extend your left leg, hug right into the chest. Inhale, exhale, bring nose to knee, navel to spine. Inhale, head back down. Exhale, nose up to knee, navel to spine. Inhale. And now as you exhale, instead of thinking navel to spine, think about curling your spine to actually relax the nerves that come out of your spinal column. And back down. So start thinking about the nerves that come out of your spine bones. Opening. Let's do another one of those. Come back down. I'll just take a moment and that feels better already. Other leg, inhale, exhale. You can feel that navel to the spine action just to remember that might be familiar to you. And then inhale with that spine lengthening down, and then exhale, take another one. But now you can feel that navel to spine as long as you don't do too big of a pull, but can you feel it actually creating more of a fiddlehead fern effect? So you're opening the back of your spine where your spine bones link on top of each other. So you're allowing those spinal nerves to get some space, to feel a little bit more supported with blood around them, space around them. And then come on back down. Great. You're gonna take your hands, place them underneath your right rib cage, and just hold that liver area. That's where your liver is, on your right, and breathe into your hands, into your liver. Try not to, you're not doing anything, you're just allowing yourself to have some space around your liver, gallbladder. Move your hands over to the center underneath your rib cage. It's about where your pancreas is, just the beginning of your small intestine. Just stay in the middle there. Just relax. Don't have an agenda. Your organs know you're there. If you hear gurgling, I always think that's a good sign. I think, oh, my organs recognize that we're here. It's their way of communicating with me. And then take them over to the left a little bit more to the left side. That's where your actual stomach is. You can take your hand around the side and just tap into the idea of your stomach and your spleen here. The stomach, spleen, pancreas. Feeling these strip of organs that are kind of cut right through the center of the body, this horizontal aspect of support. And move your hands just up between your breasts here and the chest, the breastbone. Hands on the chest, feeling in your lung tissue. Moving the fingers up, feeling the back of behind your windpipe is your esophagus, just feeling it, the esophagus move up and come up behind your ears. Just move your head just gently side to side, kind of coming out your mouth. So up the front, and then kind of out your mouth. Do it one more time. And roll over onto your side. Come on to fours here. Inhale up, and exhale, slide the hips back. Again, inhale up. Exhale, slide the hips back. Inhale up. And exhale, slide the hips back. And stay there for a moment. Feel that breath into the belly again. Again, we just gave that whole space around the center of the body. If I were to cut us off a little record player or a CD there, or a dinner plate there, allow that to create a little bit of space as the top half of you moves forward and the bottom half of you moves back, creating more space for the liver, stomach, pancreas, spleen. The esophagus being a central organizing structure. With inhale up, feeling that dinner plate around the center. Rotate around your esophagus as you take that twist over to the right. Hands can go together in prayer pose. Breathe deep into that lower belly. Allow your liver to move up, your spleen and stomach to move down, around the esophagus, which is like the middle of your dinner plate there. I'm going to move my body up a little bit here. And from there, slide your left leg back behind you. You might end up falling over here, but that's okay. Feeling that sense of revolution, the revolving, you revolve around. Want to put your arms down and begin to roll over onto your right hip a bit. Start to open up that idea. If you want to grab that back foot, if you feel like you're ready to go ahead and grab that back foot, do it. If not, that might just be too strong. You get a cramp in your hamstring on your left leg and the back of your leg there. That would mean that you're probably not ready to grab it, because that's your body saying too much, too fast, stop. Allow yourself to ease into your ankle, knee, and hip joint on your right. You notice I'm rolling a little bit side to side. For some people's knees and ankles and hips, they won't like this action, but I'm doing it with the idea of big fat crayons. I'm not trying to stretch my body in this big way, but I'm allowing these big fascial planes to slide over these larger muscles. I'm still touching the wall, so I'm moving forward. Now creeping my left arm forward. So my left leg and my left arm are really long. Now I'm going to roll to my left. I'm rolling over my right leg, and then I'm moving I'll show you what I'm doing here from this angle. And as I'm rolling to my left, moving over my left leg, and then if I need to use my hand to help get my leg out to the side. So now I'm going to be on my belly here. Right arm is up by the face. Right foot is bent. My left arm is going to spiral down, and I'm going to be on my left cheek. Okay, so the way I was oriented before, it would look like this. It would look something like this, but on the ground. I've heard it called crime scene pose, so maybe that'll give you a nice little laugh. So some of you that just needed some time to really find that sense of reconnecting with who you are and self, and that sense of yielding and just letting giving into gravity. Just stay in crime scene pose, breathing into the belly. Just feel the weight of your body just sinking into gravity. Those of you that are seeking a little bit more here, stretchy wise, go ahead and extend your right leg. If you can grab the foot to get some inner thigh action. Okay, that's what it looks like, head on. You don't have to be squirming all the way around. That's why I didn't have a mat. It'd be kind of in my way. So otherwise I would be here. And then if you like, you can grab the back foot here if you're not in crime scene pose. But the idea is now to get really soft with your breath. Begin to yield, relaxing tension, pouring excess into the earth. Feeling that sense of lightness, nourishment, summer fun, whatever invites that to you. And now from here, I'm going to unroll my left arm, slide it back around. I'm going to roll over onto my back, which is why we're not on a mat again. So you don't have to feel like you have to stay on the mat. And then just bring your right leg up into through the whole pose. I'm going to roll slightly over my sacrum and over my hips here. With the idea of now those nerves in the back, that's those nerves that come out of the sacrum, just get a little massaging, a little bit of jiggly, a little bit of something, a little support from the blood vessels around them so they don't feel like they're so alone. And then just breathe in. That pelvic floor, that belly, and that space right below your rib cage where all those organs that we talked about earlier, just feel that whole sense right below your rib cage where that dinner plate was, really widening and softening and relaxing. Now from here, if you can't get your hand on your foot and that's uncomfortable, feel free to use a strap. I've got one handy here. But I think it's important for this to be able to get some get some pressure in there. So you're gonna be contacting some of the mind of your ligaments and inside of your joint space. So to give a little bit of in there is useful, I think. And if that's not comfortable for your shoulders, your arms, you don't want to be up here, just use a strap just to give yourself something. It doesn't have to be a lot to get a lot of great benefits. So I'm allowing myself to feel my foot into my ankle joint, my ankle through my bones, into my knee, into my thigh bone, into my hip. And I'm feeling my top of my thigh bone deep in my hip socket, really feeling my whole pelvic half here on the right, just coming home into my spine. So I feel like I've got my whole leg connected into my spine, into my head. So I'm really one being right now. And then feel free to take your leg out to the side a bit. Just to play in there. Bring it back to the center. And then we're going to take that over to the left into the twist. Your leg can be straight or bent here. Just allow it to be out to the side into your twist. If you need to bring both legs up, that's fine. Now your right palm will be facing the ceiling. Left arm can do anything you want it to do at this point. I'm going to be playing with my right elbows. I bring my palms up, my right elbow's coming down, and then I'm going to change and bring my right elbow up. So I'm sort of swimming here. If I'm rotating from my elbow, what happens in my hand? That's my question right now. So if I move my elbow up and my elbow down, can I feel that that spiral go all the way through to my hand somehow. It doesn't have to be a big movement. I'm probably doing it too big for camera. It can be really small. Your hand doesn't have to be on the floor. And then see what happens if you take that same action of the elbow moving up and down, and then ask the question, what's happening at the top of my arm bone, where my shoulder might be. Can that take me? And then just play with one orientation or the other. Play what happens if you roll the elbow, roll and spiral. What happens here? And just allow this to take you into some movement as the arm feeds in to your ribs, which feed into your spine. And so now I'm playing via my right arm, and seeing what's happening in my body, which may be affecting my experience of this twist. I'm dealing with these big fascial planes right now, using our fascia, our ligaments to guide the bones. And then take a moment and come back around to the front. Hug the knee into the chest. Can extend that leg up, again with that idea of feeling that sense of space into the body, and then the leg can go out to the side one more time. And then release the leg down. Take a mini shavasana. Adjusting myself because of the wall. Check in with your liver on your right. In the middle. You got your pancreas, small intestine, your navel, your belly button. Keep going to the left. Pancreas will feed into stomach and spleen. Esophagus up the center, through the mouth. Then you can remind yourself it goes all the way down to your anus, which is in your rectum, which is right on top of your sacrum, which is that flat bone right above your tailbone. That mouth to anus is one big tube. And forget everything and just experience. Roll over to the side. Take some movements. Inhale up. Exhale, slide back to child's. Inhale up. Exhale, slide back to child's. Inhale up. Exhale, slide back to child's. Bring the body up, and then exhale, feeling that rotation of those organs around your esophagus as you twist to the left. It'll feel different on this side because your organs are different on this side, for one thing. And it'll feel different on this side because our organs are quite asymmetrical, so it just won't feel the same, probably. Maybe yours does. Mine does not feel the same at all. I mean, it does feel the same, kind of, because it's my body, it's me. But I have a different experience on this side. That nice deep breath, and that softening as you can revolve, rotate, spiral a little bit more. Slide your right leg back behind you. The wall's kind of in my way again. Look at how tall I am. The wall's in my way all these times. Breathe. Roll. Take your arms and start to roll onto your left. Just play a little bit here. I like to go easy to my joints, my ankle, my knee, my hip on the left side here. To allow that sense of my being, those fascial planes to move over my large muscles, large muscle groups. And once you get to a place where you might want to just call home for a bit, you may want to grab that back foot, you may not. Kind of depends on what your fascial planes are just telling you to do. And if your muscles are cramping, then you know we're in muscle, and we're trying not to be using the muscle as our focus right now, but possibly these fascial planes. These can slide around. Kind of like a slip slidey thingy, but not, like a water slide, but not as fast. There is a wet element to it though. Move up here. And now, the tendency might want to be to roll back onto the left. We're going to keep rolling to the right. I'm going to move my arm out to the right here. Feel that sense of my right side getting nice and long, which will help roll me onto my right as I allow slowly, easily, my left leg to come out. My right arm is going to spiral down, so my palm is up, arms down to the side, my left arm's up. Just take a moment to yield here in crime scene pose. This can be a nice way to take shavasana, by the way. If you're into yielding and need to keep draining, please do so. Otherwise, go ahead and straighten your left leg out anywhere to get some inner thigh. I'm still trying to really roll over my whole belly, touching the floor to the yield here. Really yielding my belly to the ground. And you can grab back foot, play around. Adjust your right arm to prepare you to roll back over. Rolling over onto your back. Left leg comes up. Press that left leg into the body a bit. Rotate it out through the whole pose. Roll over that sacrum. You're feeling your pelvic half, your sacrum, and your other pelvic half here. Really meeting at the pubic bone, meeting at the sacrum. Legs helping calibrate all that joint space. There's a lot of calibrating that goes on in the pelvis. And release your right leg down. Strap over the left foot or use your own hands bend your ankle, knee, ankle into foot, into shin, into thigh, into thigh bone, into pelvic half, into spine. This is not really about stretching your hamstring, but it's not important to me to have my legs straight right now. So I'm really getting my fascial planes, my ligaments, my bones, all remembering that they have all this support. And then if we take that leg out to the side a little bit, you know we're going to come back here before we close, so I don't have to get the biggest stretch. This is just kind of, we're setting up some pelvic stuff in a minute. Bring it back. And now roll it over onto the twist. So my left arm will be the one I'm playing with the most. My right arm can be wherever it needs to be. Bring my left elbow down. My left elbow can come up. Be doing this on the floor. You can be doing it also in the air. You don't have to stay on the floor. I can keep my elbow drawing down and my hand up. Anyway, feel that elbow moving out into the hand. And what does that do for spiraling movements for you? How's that elbow affect what's happening in your forearm, your wrist, and fingers? And then how does that elbow affect what's happening in your upper arm bone, which might lead into the ribs, into the spine. Spine, of course, leads into the head. Fluid movements. Feel that, those fascial planes, those ligaments, just moving the bones in different directions. Now, those of you that are feeling a little bit more, you want to move more, this can take you into different directions. I don't have a ton of room here, but you don't have to stay in that twist if you don't want to. You can do other things. Let this take you into some creative movement if you want. Maybe today you're just going to stay with the twist, but maybe another day you do this and start to play a little bit more. And then just stay now in your twist. Coming back onto your back. Bring that knee in. Now if you want to start getting a little bit more stretchy in that back, and then take the leg out to the side one more time. Bring the leg around down to meet the other leg. And take your hands, find your hip bones, and on the sides of your body, wherever your body is, no matter how much flesh you have or don't have here, found your hip bone somewhere in there. Feel yourself just gently moving the bones towards each other. They won't actually move a lot, but just feel it moving towards your pubic bone. Just calibrating some joint space in there in a different way. Allowing the ligaments to know the other ligaments. And then just release the hands and stay there for a moment. And roll back over onto all fours. Shake the tail a little bit, inhale up, exhale back, and now feel yourself from that tailbone, pubic bone, pelvis. I'm going to actually take my hand and sort of zip myself up from my pubic bone and just bring my right leg through. Then I'll rock back, come back to the lunge, and then I'm going to zip myself back up to bring that leg back down. Zip myself up and bring the other leg up. rock back. And I'm going to zip myself up to come back down. Zip myself up, right leg comes up, slide it back, lunge, and I'm going to zip it up. So my leg isn't flopping out to the side ideally here. Zip it up, leg comes up, through. So as I zip up, that leg's going to have room to go all the way back behind me. Zip it up so the leg's not going to flop out to the side here. Ideally not flopping out to the side. That's not the pathway that we are playing with. We're trying to get that direct right under. My legs right under me and back down. And right under me and back down. We get zip up and then just go ahead and stay in the lunge a bit. Rock back. Coming back up. And then feel that sense of, if you were going to zip it up again, you'd actually come to standing, zip it up, and then zip it back down, and then zip it back down. Take the other side, zip it up, left leg comes through. Stay there. Rock back. Up again. Feeling that, zip it up to bring it to standing if you can, and then zip it back down, and then zip it back down. And then coming up from the legs, take a moment. Have your vision move backwards into your head. So my eyes, instead of looking out, come back into my skull. And then just begin to drop the head forward. Opening up those nerves. Stroke your back of your neck. Arms down. Keep your hands over the top of your head. Stroke the back of your neck. Across the upper arms. Forearms all the way to the fingers. Get to the top of your head. Stroke it down the back, get to your sacrum, come across the front, down the fronts of the thighs, inner knee, catch it where you left it off, inner knee to the outside of the leg, all the way down to your toenails. Stand. And that is your practice for today. Let me know what you think. I think it's pretty cool. Go ahead, have some fun now.